Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast, the show that takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible.
Welcome to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Alyssa Jo. Hello, everybody. How's it going today? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I hope the sun is shining. Hope you're feeling positive. I know our world is chaos and life is chaos, but that's okay. I hope you're feeling good today, no matter what, and I hope you're finding a reason to smile through all the chaos and craziness. Last episode, I talked about letting go of things that no longer serve us, and within that episode, I mentioned how letting go of things often feels like one door is closing, but that always means another door is going to open. But sometimes that door isn't there right away. Just because we're closing the door on one thing or one chapter in our life doesn't automatically mean the next door is just going to swing open or be ready for us right then. And often too, when we close the chapter to a aspect in our life, when we let go of something, we can feel quite off track because, maybe that was a huge aspect of our life that we have to let go of, and now we feel a little bit lost and a little bit of we kind of just wait for something to happen. It's like, okay, what do I do now? And today's episode is all about not waiting around and instead taking action and creating your own opportunity and making that next door appear for yourself. Why wait around for the next door to open up for you? Why don't you open it up yourself and create that for yourself? Life is literally full of opportunities every single where that we look. Like, it is crazy. Every single corner we turn, every single time we step outside of our homes, even inside of our homes, when we open up our phones, when we scroll through Facebook or Instagram, there is literally opportunities everywhere you look, everything that you are doing. And that's why today I want to talk about creating your own opportunities, because when we just sit around and wait for life to happen, life still happens. That's the thing. Life still happens. When you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs, having no idea what you want to do, and you're just kind of sitting, waiting back for something to fall in your lap, guess what? When you're sitting around and waiting for everything, there's other people and there's so many aspects of our life that are turning, that are going fast, and that are making their own opportunities, and life is still going on. Even though it feels like, oh, well, it's paused right now, I'm just waiting for something to happen. No, you can't just wait for things to happen. Life is too short. And when I talk about creating your own opportunities, of course there's like the big aspect of it. If you want to, get that new promotion, get that new job, or move to a new city or a new country, or, maybe you want that dream car, like, those are cool. Those are really cool opportunities or things that you want, goals to have. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have to be that big. When I'm talking about creating your own opportunities, it could be, small things maybe that you're working on for yourself, or if you really want to work on your fitness, you really want to be working out more and you want to get healthier, you got to create your own opportunities for that sometimes, because often we don't have the motivation or the confidence to get going on that goal and to get started. And sometimes I don't know. I don't really know how to use the gym equipment, so I'm just not going to go. Okay, well, why don't you create your own opportunity by going to the gym and asking for help? That's creating your own opportunity right there. It can be as simple as that. It's just asking for help. Hey, can you help me out? I don't know how to use any of the gym equipment. And then you get taught how to use the gym equipment, and then you start to go to the gym more regularly because you know what you're doing. So now you're not embarrassed of going to the gym, and you're like, oh, I kind of know what I'm doing. And then you start to enjoy it. And then you actually start getting fit and reaching that goal that you want to reach. So it doesn't have to be, oh, I want my dream job. I need to open up that opportunity. I want my next promotion. I want to buy that big house. It doesn't have to be things like that. It can be other aspects of your life. Like there's just opportunities everywhere we look. Even if you're just looking for a new idea, you're looking for something new to do in life. Like that is like the most exciting thing about life is when a door does close. It's scary and it's sad to say goodbye to certain chapters of our lives, but once you realize, okay, that was no longer serving me anymore, I can move on to bigger, better things that align more with my values and my beliefs that are going to benefit me and help me become the better version of myself. Like, that's amazing when you can, you shut the door on something that's no longer serving you, but it makes room for things that do serve you. And it makes room for new opportunities and new experiences and new ways of life and new ways to do things. And like how exciting is doing something new? Even though it's terrifying, don't get me wrong, of course it's terrifying. But it's also really exciting. It's also super exciting to get a new opportunity. It's super exciting for a door to open. And don't get me wrong, sometimes life is fair. You probably don't hear that very often. A lot of people say that, but sometimes life is fair and sometimes we just get lucky and an opportunity falls in our lap. That door swings open for us. And then the next thing that we need to do is make sure that we're actually taking advantage of that opportunity and going after it. But 9 times out of 10, life isn't fair. And we don't get opportunities handed to us. We don't get those things just falling in our lap. We have to create those things ourselves. And I think there's something so powerful about creating your own opportunities. You just feel this sense of self-worth and confidence and improvement. And you just feel good about yourself when you create your own opportunity instead of someone just handing you something or just offering you something. You worked hard for it. And one of the biggest tips I'm going to give you today is work hard. Work really, really, really hard. Be the hard worker. Have a good work ethic. When you have a good work ethic, that automatically opens up more opportunities for yourself because you're not sitting around waiting for things to happen. You're working hard at the things that you want in life. And that's scary. 9 times out of 10 is to go after the things you want in life. It's terrifying. But when you work hard at things, even if you're crappy at them at the beginning, but you continue to work, no matter how many times you get pushed down or how many times you fail, if you keep up and keep working, you will create opportunities for yourself. So the first thing that I want to say today about creating opportunities is actually having a clear set of goals. And that's why I'm saying, it doesn't have to be that big job promotion, or it can be something small. It can be things like learning the gym equipment, like things like that. That can be your goal. But when you have a clear set of goals and you have a clear set of kind of what you want out of life and where you want to go, it makes it so much easier to do those things because you're not just walking around aimlessly. You're not driving around aimlessly. You actually kind of have a direction. And sometimes having a direction is the hardest part because you don't know what you want to do in your life. And that's okay. I'm not telling you that you have to have a list of goals of everything you want to accomplish. Like if I actually had a full list of exactly how my life is going to go, no, it's not realistic. That's not going to happen. But we can have a list of things that we ideally want to do. And if you can be specific on your goals, be specific on your goals. But sometimes it's not as easy to be specific. So if you need to be more broad, if you say, I just really want to have self-confidence. I want to be the boss. I want to be the leader. Okay, those are more broad goals, but at least it's something to help you. It's an idea. It's a place to start. Because when you have that clear set of goals, then it makes it a lot easier to know the direction of opportunities that you could take advantage of if you got, right? Like sometimes we're presented with opportunities and it's like, I'm going to talk about this later, we have to be decisive and take that opportunity confidently, but often we get shy. Oh, is that really the right choice? Is that really the right choice for me? I don't know what to do. Well, if you have a clear set of goals and where you want to go, it makes it a lot easier to be decisive. So Pay attention to where you want to go, your values, your dreams, and pay attention to yourself and how you want to feel. Have a list of emotions of how you want to feel every single day. How do you want to wake up? You want to wake up feeling confident, independent, loved, appreciated. Okay, what's going to make you feel that way? Well, I really, really want to, been working at this firm for 10 years. I really want this next promotion. That's going to make me feel really confident that I did it. I did it and I want to do it myself. Go out there and do it yourself and create that own opportunity for you. My biggest example of creating your own opportunity as I'm learning about, my career and my life and stuff. All of my mentors, my teachers, things that people that I'm talking to, they always say sometimes your dream job isn't going to be listed when you're searching for a job. When you scroll through LinkedIn or whatever site and you're going through looking for jobs, you're just waiting for your dream job to just appear there. It's not going to happen. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. Sometimes you have to just create the position for yourself. Sometimes if you've been in a workplace for long enough, sometimes you just have to slide on in and create your own position. And that's with every aspect of life. Create your own opportunity no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing. Because the more times that we can create our opportunities, the more we can experience, the more we can educate ourselves, the more we can become the better version of ourselves, the best version of ourselves. And we're going to be living life so much happier when we create our own opportunities, when we're not just sitting around and waiting for life to happen. Life is already happening. It's already moving. It's spinning. Things are going. People are already making their own opportunities around you, even if it doesn't look like they are. They are. Don't be one of those people that sits back and twiddles your thumb. Today, we are talking about creating your own opportunities in life. It is time to stop sitting back, and it is time to move forward, to create your own door, and to open it up and jump right in, to run right through with full force and go after with every single thing you have in your body. Because when you want something and you can go after it, when you want something and you create that something for yourself, there is nothing like that feeling. Don't you want to feel that accomplishment like you did it by yourself from hard work? You created that door. You opened that door yourself. You ran right through and you gave it your all and you reached your goal all by yourself through hard work and dedication and some effort. And when I say some, I mean a lot, a lot of effort, but you did it. And that is the best feeling. So don't wait for life to just hand you, you don't have to, it's funny because sometimes we get dealt a hand and so we just play with that hand. Okay, well, this is the hand I was dealt in life, and so this is what I'm gonna do. No, you don't have to play your cards. Be the person that has a hidden card under the table. Be the person that has a card hidden in your pocket, and then you're gonna play and win because you're gonna create your own opportunities. I'm not saying cheat, but I am saying sometimes we have to have a card hidden under the table to create our own opportunities. I like that. I really like that saying. I'm going to use it now. So yes, seriously, be the person that has a card under the table. Because not everyone has the card under the table. Not everyone has the guts to have a card under the table. Be that person. Create your own opportunities. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm super excited about it. It's time for a break, but when we get back, I'm going to be jumping right back in. So don't go anywhere. We are going to create the lives that we always have wanted to live. And it starts by creating our own opportunities. Stay tuned.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America's Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Hello. We are back, and we are talking all about creating your own opportunities. So let's just jump right in. One door closes, another one isn't automatically going to open again. So what can we do to make another door open? Well, I talked about making sure you have a clear set of goals, whether they're small, whether they're big, whether you're working on little things about yourself or you're working towards your dream job. It doesn't matter. This can apply to everything. We have to create opportunities in every aspect of our life. Now, my next crucial tip for you is follow your passion. If you do have a goal, you have a passion, you have something that you are genuinely care about, that you are passionate about, follow your passion and you can create opportunities for yourself with that. I know sometimes we have weird passions. Sometimes we have passions and it's like, I'm never gonna make something out of that. You know, I find this a lot with maybe sometimes people are really, really good at something and they love it, but it's like, how could I ever make money off of this? And it's like, well, create your path to make money off of it. If it's something that you love, why wouldn't you want to, make it your career? Make it your income. Like, how awesome is that? Going to work every day, but it not feeling like work because it's your passion. That is the dream. That is such an amazing thing. And if you can get to that point, then do it. So follow your passion. If you have a passion, follow that line. There's no dream that's too big. So follow your passion and you can create your own opportunities along that way. It's actually so much easier to create opportunities for yourself when you are passionate about it. When you're just kind of searching for random opportunities, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But when you are passionate and you are dedicated to something, you will find opportunities for yourself. I guarantee it. So next thing is being mindful. Practice mindfulness. This means being in the present moment, always being aware of what's around you. Be thoughtful and reflective. The act of self-reflection, which I talk about constantly, as you know. And ask yourself, how did I handle this situation that I was in? Am I on the right track? Were there any opportunities that I missed in that situation? Maybe you went and socialized. Maybe you were going to network, which I'll talk about networking a little bit, but maybe you were going out and then afterwards reflect on it. Did I miss any opportunities? Was there something I could have, maybe stood up for, maybe introduced myself to somebody? Reflect on the things that you're doing and be mindful of your surroundings constantly. Like I said, there is literally opportunities every corner we turn. So if you are being mindful and you are aware of your surroundings, you are aware of yourself and everything going on around you, you will find those opportunities a lot easier compared to the people that are, maybe they're in their head or they're kind of zoned out. They're just doing their thing. They're not really thinking of that stuff. But if you are constantly thinking of your passion, you're constantly thinking of opportunities in your head, they will pop up. You will start to see them when you are being mindful. My next thing is to educate yourself. Harvest the knowledge of others. Get as much information as you can from other people, which is really great. Then, of course, books, podcasts, any kind of informational thing. Really pay attention to educating yourself. If you can go to school for the third time, maybe you want to go back to university or college, do it. There's never too much education. I feel like we should every single day we are absorbing new information into us, right? We're learning new things every day and learning new things about ourselves, but also about our world and our beliefs and how everything works. So never stop educating yourself, because the more you know, then maybe you'll find a different passion, and then the more opportunities are going to open up. So make sure you are educating yourself at every chance you get. And when you have a conversation with somebody that you find super interesting, have conversations with people that scare you. This is the best. Have a conversation with somebody that you find so intelligent that they are terrifying. You've ever met somebody like that and you're like, that person is way too smart to be hanging out with me. I have felt like that before. But then you sit down and you have a conversation with them. Mind blown. The things that you can learn when you're actually paying attention, even though it's intimidating. Maybe you can't say much back to this person because, you're just not able to really conversate that well with them because of, maybe, or the subject that they're talking about. Maybe you're just not educated in the subject that they're talking about. But have you ever had a conversation with somebody that you find intimidating, but you find so intelligent about a certain subject? or talk to somebody about their passion. Talking to somebody about their passion compared to just, some other kind of boring information that they don't really care about. Two completely different conversations, obviously. So if you can find, if you want to educate yourself on something, you want to find an opinion, find somebody who's passionate about that subject and sit down and have a conversation. And then once you have that conversation, reflect after, write things down, write notes during the conversation. I know, it kind of sounds silly. Hey, do you mind if I take notes while you talk to me for the next hour? Yeah, it might sound a little weird, but seriously, it is so beneficial to just pay attention and write things down. Now I know this next tip is not the easiest for everybody, but traveling. If you can travel and broaden your experiences and broaden the environments that you have been in and the things that you have done, it is amazing what traveling can open up for you. The opportunities that can happen. There has been so many people that go on, backpacking trips. I'm going to find myself. I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And they go out searching for this opportunity and they don't find it sometimes, but they find a million other opportunities traveling. Like for me, I went traveling after I graduated high school thinking that, all my questions would be answered. I'll just figure out life. I'll know exactly who I am after I come back from this trip. Did I figure out exactly who I was? No. I'm still learning every single day. Did I discover opportunities and passions and beliefs and values and meet different people from different cultures that have all just broadened my life? Yes, 100%. Travel every chance you can. I 100% say that. I wish, I could travel more. But if you have the capabilities to, save up some money and go on a trip someplace you've never been, and I'm not talking, don't get me wrong, going to Mexico and laying on the beach, so much fun. How can we not all just drinking margaritas on the beach? Love it. But if you can go somewhere that you can, that you really want to adventure, or you really want to learn their culture, or you really want to understand their environments, or whatever the case is, go somewhere that you really can educate yourself in, or that you can meet people from so many different cultures. Wherever you go to, wherever you travel, you're going to meet people from so many different backgrounds. And I think that's such a cool way to broaden your horizons, and just also seeing the way life is in different countries and different areas of the world. Like that opens up opportunities for you right there, right? And you're also just broadening your network. So you're meeting more people. Like how cool is it to be like, yeah, I have a friend in Australia. And I'm all the way in Canada. That is so cool to say that it's like, yeah, I have a friend over there, and if I flew to Australia, I'd have a free place to stay. That is so cool. Now you have that, that place to go to if you ever, you want to go on a trip, or you have those people to talk to. It's just absorbing all that information. So travel. And then, of course, surround yourself with the proper people. I've mentioned this multiple times in various episodes that we need to make sure we are surrounding ourselves with the right people. So if we are surrounding ourselves with people who we find very successful, who are on the right track, who are, they just seem like they got it all together because they're focused, they're goal-orientated, they know what they're going after, and they're just going after it. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with, because they will help you create opportunities. Hang out with people that can introduce you to more people. It's all about it's about who you know, and learning more and networking more. And so maybe you'll find a friend and all of a sudden they open up an opportunity for you. They're like, hey, my old coworker worked in that field, and I could get you an interview there, no problem. That's what friends are for. So make friends, but make the right friends. So surround yourself by the right people. Think of your strengths and your weaknesses and play to those strengths and weaknesses. When you really understand yourself and you understand what you're good at, or what you feel like you're good at, and then, and what you're not so good at, it makes it really easy to try to find opportunities within those. Of course, we're going to try to find opportunities within our strengths, right? Because it's a lot easier. We're good at those things. We feel confident in them. And that's a really key part in creating your own opportunities as well, is you just have to go out there and be confident. You have to put yourself out there. And when you know your strengths and your weaknesses, I find it so much easier to really hold your ground and be confident and really understand yourself that way, because that way you're just, when you look at a confident person, or when you look at someone, you can just tell, wow, that person is radiant and confidence. Like, that is such a cool thing to see. I love that. So when you are playing on your strengths, you're automatically going to be more confident, and automatically more opportunities are going to come to you. Be creative. Think outside the box. So even if you're not a creative person, do something creative. Try to, pick up an instrument, draw a picture, paint something, sculpt something, do something creative. Like, maybe go outside, take some pictures, or whatever the case is. Get creative. Sometimes we, especially the people that are not normally that creative, or don't, find that much interest in creative things, this can be super beneficial to kind of get outside your thinking box, your logical, mathematical thinking box that you're always in, and just kind of think of some weird things. Think of something creative. And all of a sudden you'll kind of think of more opportunities for yourself, because you're thinking outside your regular realm of what you're usually thinking about, I guess. All that logical math stuff that some people love, and then others love that creative side. And it goes both ways. Maybe if you're super creative, maybe you gotta think more logically. Maybe you gotta think more mathematical, Sounds weird, but try to think what's opposite for you. So if you're a creative person, try to think, well, not so creative. And if you're not so creative, try to be creative. Okay, it is time for another break, but when we get back, I will jump right back into sharing more information of how you can create opportunities for yourself. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Alyssa Jo. Hello. Let's create opportunities for ourselves. Let's jump right back in. So my next thing for you is be a great listener. Okay? Listen, I said, when we talk to more people, and I said, take notes. If you talk to a really intelligent person, take notes. That is great. Listen to people. Listen to that conversation. Be a good listener of eavesdrop. Be a listener when you're not supposed to be listening. I know that sounds bad, but pay attention to what people are saying. Pay attention to the things that you hear on the radio. Pay attention to the things that you hear on TV sometimes, even to the things you hear on the street from a stranger talking. Sometimes you can walk by a group of strangers that might be talking about something, and all of a sudden a light bulb goes off in your head, and there's your opportunity. You just thought of something. Oh, I know my next step. I know what I'm going to do now. I know my next place I'm going to go. And that could be from just walking by a group of strangers on the pathway. So listen to everything. And when you are having a conversation with somebody, I'm going to list you some questions you can kind of ask yourself, or even ask out loud if you think. So did they say anything of value? Did they talk about anything really meaningful? Did they try to be humorous? Can you do anything for them? Can you offer them something? Can they offer you something? Can you help in any way? Questions like this just gets you kind of reflecting on the conversation and what you're listening to, and it just kind of helps you tap into that a little bit deeper, so you can kind of grasp what you're listening to and hopefully absorb it and create your own opportunities from it. Now, this next tip is, I think, probably the most important one I will say for this entire episode, is be kind to everybody. I mean everybody. Because when we are kind to people, that automatically makes opportunities for ourselves. Even if you're not, so think about it. So you're applying for a job, and say that you're applying for this job, and it's you against 2 other people, and those 2 other people pretty much have the exact same things on their resume as you. They're just as qualified as you are. You know, pretty much across the board for education and experience, you're all the same. But one person's got an attitude, one person's a little maybe snarky or something, and then one person's really kind. They are going to pick the kind person, obviously, that is nicer to be around. Be the kind person to everybody, no matter what. Because this world is smaller than you think. And things come back to bite you in the ass. Excuse my language, but it happens. So make sure that you are kind to everyone, and that is automatically going to open up more doors with you. People want to work with kind people. People want to surround themselves with good people. So be a good person. And that is literally the easiest way to create opportunities for yourself. Be kind. And that goes for every aspect in your life. So if you're going to take anything from this episode to create opportunities for yourself, take that piece of advice. Be kind to everyone. Now, absorb things that are going to better you. So I talked a little bit about, making sure you're listening and paying attention. But instead of watching a rom-com, watch a documentary. Instead of watching some cheesy Netflix show, why don't you listen to an educational podcast? Or, a TED Talk. Why don't you watch a TED Talk? Or, some audiobooks to optimize your time if you don't want to sit there and read a book, because books are definitely a good thing too. But if you just want to throw in your headphones and while you're working out, you're doing something else, use your time wisely and make sure that you are absorbing things that are going to better you. We spend so much time watching movies and listening to music and maybe listening to different conversations on the radio or on TV and stuff like that actually, it could be very entertaining, but it doesn't do anything beneficial for us other than provide entertainment. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying stop watching rom-coms and just only watch strictly educational documentaries. No, don't do that. Of course not. But when you can and when you think of it, hey, do I really need to watch this episode of Friends for the 10th time? Or could I watch a documentary that, might educate me a little bit, that might give me a new idea? Right? It kind of all depends. And of course, find that balance for you. But paying attention to what you're absorbing is really crucial when creating your own opportunities, because the more we educate ourselves, the more we absorb beneficial things for our lives, the more opportunities will be created. Experiment. This is like, I'm talking about being creative or non-creative, if that's who you are, right? Experiment. Do something that is completely out of your wheelhouse. That's something that you would have imagined. Something that you're terrible at. When I talked about too, making sure you're playing on your strengths and your weaknesses. You don't just have to play on your strengths. Play on your weakness. Do something that you are crappy at and experiment with it. All of a sudden, maybe you'll find a different aspect of it that you're like, wow, this is actually really great. Maybe you'll find a new passion. Maybe you'll become really good at that and it'll become a good strength. And either way, you tried to get your weakness to a strength, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We all try to get better at things, but just experiment. Experiment. Think outside your wheelhouse and just do whatever. People that do not care about, what other people think, those people are the ones that are going out and creating their own opportunities. If you don't want to experiment with something that you're not good at because you're scared of what people are going to think or what people could say, or you're scared of, what could happen. No, toss those negative thoughts and only think about how this can benefit you, how you're going to grow from this situation, whether you're still crappy at that thing or not. It's still something that you did for yourself and you tried, and that says a lot. So experiment and never care what people are going to think, because sometimes everyone is in the same boat. We're all trying to navigate life. And we're all trying to live it happily and to the best that we can because we want to live this life to the fullest. You know, we want to be able to create that life for ourselves. And so people are experimenting all the time. And sometimes you just don't see it. And even if though you think people are laughing at you, I bet you they're not. A lot of those people that laugh at you, they're just jealous that you have the guts to go out there and try something maybe that you're not so good at. Just for the slight chance it could create something bigger for yourself. I think that's a lot more powerful than, you know, holding yourself back because of you're scared of judgment. Get certified. Okay, so this is again with like education and stuff, but it's very, it's super beneficial to create opportunities for yourself. Like this is more like workforce things. Like if you're trying to create yourself, you want that promotion and stuff like that, or you want this new job, get certified or something. You know, there's so many different like certifications online that you can do, different courses and stuff that don't take that much time. But when you have that certification on your resume, that can open up opportunities for yourself, right? It's all about experience. And the funny thing about experience is that you need experience to get experience. But we need experience to do life. But we need to have experience to get experience, but we need experience to life. So how do I life if I don't have experience, but I need to experience to get... Do you see what I mean? This is the most frustrating thing. Because people are always like, well, how am I supposed to get that job? I don't have that experience. They want 5 years of that. But how am I supposed to get any job if every one of them want 5 years of writing experience or whatever it is? Well... you have to get experience in different ways. Okay, so maybe you want this writing job. You want to work at a, you know, some kind of online magazine article writing thing or whatever the case is. And they say you have to have 5 years of writing experience. Okay, I have no years of writing experience. What am I going to do? Start creating that experience for yourself. Start a blog. Start writing a blog if that's what you want to do. There's experience right there. Hey, look, I don't have 5 years of experience at a firm or at a, you know, a magazine company, but I do have 5 years of this blog that I've been writing, and like, you know, here's my fan base. You know, I got a few followers, I get some likes, I get some reads, and this is my experience. We have to create our own experience to get experience. So get certified, get experience, go out there and find your passion and try those things to get more experience in life. And that also comes with traveling and all those different things. But that's a different type of experience, right? So it all depends on the opportunities that you want to open up for yourself. Now, the next one is become a leader. This is, I think, super beneficial because you don't need an official invitation to be a leader. Anyone can be a leader. You can take on leader activities without, you know, being told to do that. And I think this is especially beneficial like in a workplace. If you want that promotion, you want to be looked at in a more serious light, well then be the leader. Be that person that is working harder and that is taking the reins and helping everyone else. And your boss will see that, you know. Those things don't go unnoticed, even though sometimes they feel like they do. But be the leader, because when you are the leader or when you create your role as a leader, that automatically opens up opportunities. People might be seeing you now in a different perspective. Hey, you've always been really quiet and shy, but now you're like taking the reins and showing everyone what to do, and it's awesome and you're killing it. People see you now in a different light. Hey, I didn't know you were capable of this. Now, hey, why don't you try this now? Why don't you try this? And now they're giving you opportunities because you let them see you in a different light. So be the leader that you know you are. Create your own leader role. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you that position. Network. Meet people every chance you get. Meet people. That's all I have to say about that. Just meet people, conversate, and be kind to people when you conversate with them. When you have conversations with strangers, be kind. Be kind. And have so many conversations with so many strangers all the time. Every chance you get, meet someone new. Because you never know who you're going to meet or the conversation you're going to have or how that could change your life. Or the opportunities, the doors that could open from talking to that stranger. Meet people, network, and be kind no matter what. And two more main tips that I want to share with you. Let's see. Get involved with your community. This is a huge thing. If you want to create opportunities for yourself, this is kind of like networking as well. It kind of goes hand in hand, that you need to get involved with your community, get known, get your name out there, introduce yourself to people, join clubs, be that leader in your community, because when people see you in that light, they're going to give you more opportunities. They're going to, oh, hey, you did this for the community? That's awesome. Or, you joined this club. Why don't you join this? Like, this might work out for you. You have no idea what's going to happen. So, make sure that you're present in your community, especially if that's something that you want to do in your life. Oh, I love my hometown. I just want to eat, breathe, love this hometown, but I need more opportunity here. Get involved with your community and more things will open up for you. And then lastly, be decisive. So when opportunities arise, you have to take advantage of them with confidence. Sometimes we get offered an opportunity and, we just, is it the right time? Should I do that? Say yes, and say yes confidently. This is something that you can try, that I have tried over the past few months now. I guess it's actually been quite a while. It's been about 6 months probably. I've been having this motto of my life right now, and it's say yes to every opportunity. Say yes to every single opportunity that I get. And sometimes I have to cut down opportunities because it's like, I'm over pushing my workload, right? It's hard to say yes to everything, but give yourself, you don't have to do it for 6 months, but give yourself even a month. Say yes to everything and see what happens. Be decisive and just, yes, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll try. And then, you might come to the point where, okay, I'm way overloading my workload. Like, this is not working out for me. Well, then you can reevaluate and you can try to cut things down. Or if you're scared of saying yes and then it not working out, just be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. That way it's like, yeah, let me give it a chance. Let me give it a shot. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But give yourself a month, 1 month of saying yes to every opportunity that you get and just see how many more doors open up for you. It's amazing. Say yes. That's my last piece of advice. Say yes. So I hope that this kind of motivated you to get on track and to feel good and to put yourself out there, and to create your own opportunities, because life is way too short to be sitting around twiddling your thumbs. If you want to reach your goals, go and make them happen. It's not going to fall in your lap. And it's not going to just happen from sitting inside of your house and thinking of all the amazing things you want to do. Those amazing things will happen once you go out there and you create your own doors. You open up your own doors and you run right through them and give it your all. That's when life happens. It doesn't happen from just sitting back and twiddling your thumbs. Create the life you want to live by creating the opportunities that you have always dreamt of. All right, I will stop. I hope that this just motivated you. I hope you're ready to go out there and create those opportunities, because I know I sure am. I'm going to continue to say yes to every chance that I get, and I hope you do too, because you never know what's going to be on the other side of that door. Your life could change. And that is so exciting. So cool. All right. Thank you so much for listening to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Alyssa Jo. I so appreciate you being here. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you will be notified every single time a new episode comes out. Please follow us and like on social media. I update those regularly, and leave a 5-star review because it helps out a ton, and I absolutely love reading the reviews and comments. So please do that. If you do want some more information on today's episode, I actually did write a blog all about creating your own opportunities. I touch a little bit about the things that I touched in this podcast, plus some more and a little bit of a personal experience. If you head over to my website, it's alyssajo.com, you will see that blog with lots more information. So I hope you go over there and read it. If you do, why don't you leave a comment and let me know that this podcast sent you there. That would be awesome. All right. Till next time, please remember to be positive and happy and go after every single thing that you want in life, because life is way too short to do anything else. All right. Till next time. Thank you. Bye.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find the show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows. From the GSMC Podcast Network, from sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast.